What's up, fellas? So, 4.2a, how effectively did Chiang deal with the communists in 1927 to 1936? So, the Shanghai massacres and the extermination campaigns. KMT gained lots of support for peasants and workers since the KMT wanted change, right? Chiang was embarrassed to have the CCP as an ally. Chiang leadership of the KMT threatened by the leadership of Wang's rival government. Chiang believed the Wang government would ruin Chinese traditions. These divisions came up to head in April 1927. So now the CCP leader, Zhou Enlai, organized a series of insurrections by industrial workers in Shanghai. In 1927, Chiang ordered the closure of the CCP's headquarters in Shanghai. Under Chiang, the purge of communists, white terrors, rapidly spread beyond Shanghai into China. Many communist leaders and activists hid, but were hunted down and murdered. I didn't finish my sentence. All right. Chiang's violent suppression of CCP and its members resulted in the withdrawal of Russian support for the KMT. Now, Mao was emerging as the leader of Communist Army, Revolutionary Army of Workers, and peasants. Okay. Now hopping into 4.2b, right? The Long March. So Mao worked his way into trade organizer. The CCP went to mountainous regions of Jiangxi. No, I remember mountainous. I remember that. Mountainous regions of Jiangxi. Alright. Mao developed revolutionary army there. Hella freshmen on this floor. Mao combined the army of Chu Te. He also created the Red Army. Mao only controlled a small area of China with an army ill-trained peasants. Now, Chiang felt the CCP still posed a threat. He carried out 5 extermination campaigns, and KMT was a more organized and trained army. Mao was becoming an oppressor. He ordered arrest of 4,000 members for being KMT sympathizers. Mao supporters carried out purges. Mao was more concerned with survival. With survival than revolution. Chiang sent another attack strategically. He starved them. This strategy was a success, taking over half the territory and killing 60,000 of the Red Army. Now, KMT tactics, right? They led to a split within the KMT. Now, the CCP decided to launch a full-scale attack on the KMT. Mao was removed from leader of the KMT, and he suggested a sneak attack on the KMT. Instead, a CCP leader launched retreat to Yan'an, known as the Long March. The KMT killed 45,000 members, and after this, leadership was given back to Mao. Mao had 3 decisions. Unnecessary items were discarded, to walk in unpredictable manner, so not in a straight line, split the Red Army into smaller units, and another problem was many mountains and rivers. So Mao rebuilt the navy of the KMT. Now, right, 4.2c. All right, I submitted this out of order. Sorry, fellas. All right, 4.2c, the Jane Incident of 1936. See you, man. In Japan's 21 demands, right? They posed as a threat for China. Soldiers, they took Manchuria forcefully, and the League ignored China's request for help. Japan planned explosion in Manchuria to justify their invasion. China adopted a non-resistance policy to Japan because the KMT control of China was incomplete and weak divided, lacking army. Now, who the hell is it? All right, now 2 army generals appointed by Chiang to lead their attacks. Bro, this angle's not doing me right, bro. I look bloated. two army generals appointed by Chiang to lead their attacks. They thought fighting Japan was better than fighting CCP. They told Chiang to form an alliance against Japan with the CCP. He said no. Zhang ordered 150 soldiers to storm Chiang headquarters. Chiang surrendered and was arrested. Senior members of the KMT debated on how to rescue Chiang. My notes were submitted like slanted, I'm sorry, to rescue Chiang. Some were selfish and just wanted to find ways to rank up in the KMT. Now, USSR advisors were advising the CCP on what to do. The USSR wanted Chiang alive and change his policies into communist ones. And the 24th of December, Jane incident was resolved. Chiang agreed to work with the CCP, the Second United Front, and the compromise suited everyone. Yang arrested and executed. Zhang was arrested 40 years. The truce between KMT and CCP was created. Bro, this angle's not doing me service. All right, now finally, the 4.2D, attempts at modernization and reform. Right? So Sun dreamt of a unified China. The KMT had a long way to getting closer to that goal. The KMT established their national government of Republic of China. They wanted to develop democracy in China, and Sun's 3 stages of revolution were the unification of China through their military, the government to educate people about democracy, and the establishment of constitutional democracy allowed people to elect their own leaders. Chiang announced first stage complete after the Northern Expedition. Now the Nanking decade, right? KMT success. In 1928 to 1937, there were new policies in China, right? Historians argue the golden decade. Government improved everything. They established central bank in China. A national currency was introduced, and China gained access to foreign loans, right? So the process of improving China transport and communication began. Now, the aims were for Western legal system. Their aims for better agriculture, and they had U.S. support, and reports of Nanking progress were misleading. Now, the Nanking decade, failures and limits to success, right? So now, national reforms, right? They made little impact by 1936, and several warlords allianced to protest Chiang resignation. Now, Chiang sent 600K army of KMT against warlords. Now, this was expensive campaign against the KMT. Leading members of the KMT were very divided. And so now, nationalist government didn't want Western-style taxes. Now, the Great Depression affected Manchuria. They couldn't access foreign loans. Warlords continued creating havoc, and the CCP survived. That's all for today, fellas. Enjoy. Or look, okay? I have to do something for entertain. What do I do? So look, right? After they take you to the KMT, they give you the property, right? This is the property. Pretend you're meeting up with Mark Cuban and the Sharks. You need to flip your property upside down. And then you resign, leading you back to the affirmation where you have 50% of all your assets. And the liquidity you gain back from Mark Cuban, which you sold him 50% of your property to. All right? See y'all fellas in the next one.